Hey everyone. It's 12:34. Lucky numbers. I am here on our regular Wednesday, 12:30-ish, live talk. So I don't have anyone to interview today. So I am going to speak about what I've been posting a lot about this week, is about the female anatomy, our sexual anatomy, the vulva, and the clitoris. And I have a few little, like a Quizlet, printed out some question and answers. And I have my trusty golden clitoris with me to hopefully be able to point out more things about this organ that you have had any realization or education about. So to first start off of this, let's see. Oh, all right, here's the first question. How are the clitoris and the penis similar? So there's a few answers to that question. Both are developed from the same embryonic tissue. So they're both the same when we are embryos, and then as we start to differentiate and develop more, then they get changed to whether, depending on whether the child is male or female, whether a penis or a clitoris is actually going to emerge. And they both have what's called, let me get this right, corpora cavernosa. So corpora cavernosa are actually these here, right here. They kind of look like little legs. The penis has smaller legs. I'll have to get myself a gold penis. They both vary in size from person to person. So clitorises are different sizes in every female and every woman, and just like penis size is different for every man. And they both are erectile. They both have erectile tissue. And I think this is where this might be something that you might not really realize. And this is how the clitoris can contribute to vaginal orgasms. So before I get ahead of myself, so the clitoris. So what is the clitoris? The clitoris is a highly sensitive organ in the female, and that is found at the opening of the vaginal canal. There are about 8,000 nerve endings that innervate the clitoris. What does the clitoris consist of? So there's a tip, usually in front of the vaginal, the opening. So let me go back to myself. As you can see, I kind of put this together really fast because actually today is my partner's birthday, so I've been celebrating him. So looking at the golden clitoris here, so our urethra opening is right here, and the vaginal opening is right here. So these two vestibules, these are bulbs, vestibules, surround the openings, so the urethra, where we pee from, and the vaginal opening. This is a shaft, and then this is our glans clitoris, which can be known as the button. It's like the tip of the penis. It's the very, very highly sensitive. And on some women, this glans clitoris, the very tip, the button, the pearl, could be covered with, they call it a pupus, which is like a foreskin almost, a hood. And the hood is just a protection, similar to the penis. The foreskin on the tip of the penis is a protection for, some of the sensitivity of that very, very, very sensitive area. So I would highly recommend that you take a little gander down under, which is called vulva gazing, and get very intimate with what your clitoris looks like, what you can see. Some women, the glans clitoris actually sticks out all the time, so it's not covered by a hood. And some women have the hood covering, so it's kind of interesting to know. If you get highly aroused wearing underwear or really close fitting jeans and stuff, you most likely have a more protruding glans clitoris than one that's kind of hidden under a hood, because it's very sensitive. So you are actually getting turned on with the rubbing and the sensation. So to go back to, let me look at my notes here, what I wanted to make sure. And just in general, so the external genitalia of females consists of the clitoris, the mons pubis, which some women is just the mound with hair. Some of us wax or shave. The mons pubis, the inner lips, the labias, the outer lips, the outer labia, and the vaginal opening. Now, when I encourage my clients to do the vulva gazing, I also invite them to just go online and look for pictures of vulvas, of labias. And I'm very passionate that this should be an exercise for young girls to do, especially coming into puberty, where they can see, kind of just like penises, right? Boys get to see that in each other more than girls, if they're in locker rooms and things. Boys get an understanding that they look different. You know, they might have a different size or different color, different shape. You know, penises sometimes curved, sometimes they're straight. But as girls just don't, we might think there's one end all be all way the labia should look, our vulva should look, and it's so not true. It's like fingerprints, right? It's unique to us, and it's all beautiful. And they come in so many different shapes and sizes and colors. And when you're given the opportunity to see other vulvas, other labias, you just, the judgments, it doesn't tend to be there so much. There's more of an acceptance, and it breaks my heart when I hear that there's these cosmetic surgeries done on these young girls to change what their labias should look like. And it's, my opinion, it's just so very wrong. So if we have better education right up front, I believe there's just a better acceptance. So I am off my soapbox there. So I covered the glands. Now, these are the left and right bulbs. They are filled with, it's called corpus spongionosum tissue. So they're spongy. They're spongy. They're also erectile, meaning they fill up with blood. So just when the penis gets aroused, it fills up with blood. It gets harder, it gets longer, wider. So does these vestibules, okay? And the way I said before, they're surrounding the vaginal opening, okay? So if you imagine, these are inside your vagina, walls of your vagina. Now, as you get more aroused, they swell up and they become more sensitive, right? So they're pushing against the walls of your vagina. So it's when you have intercourse, it if you think about this pushing against the walls of the vagina, it's making the walls a little bit more I want to say harder, but there's like a pressure, there's a sensitivity that goes there. Okay. And so this is how vaginal orgasms occur. It's one of the ways vaginal orgasms occur. So it's very important, if you want to experience vaginal orgasms, that you make sure you are highly aroused before penetration. And if you're not having vaginal orgasms, this could be a reason why, that you are not being fully aroused before penetration. So just something to think about, to look at. And the difference, so when a couple things happen, and I think most women have had clitoral orgasms, you'll notice they could be very short, very sweet, they feel good, but they don't last very long. And for a lot of women, they become ultra sensitive afterwards. So like any type of touch is just sometimes unbearable, and sometimes even penetration has to wait, because as you can see, it's still close to to the glans clitoris here. So giving yourself the awareness there, that you might need to take a little break, and then before penetration, just for these nerve endings to calm down, still keeping the arousal so that these vestibules stay nice and plump and big, to help in a vaginal intercourse, vaginal orgasm through intercourse, or sometimes through finger penetration as well. So that is my little spiel on the clitoris. And let me look at my notes and make sure I've covered everything. I think that just the important thing to understand is the similarity between the clitoris and the penis, and that the clitoris is more than that little bump and pearl that that we actually can see, visually see. There's a lot more going on under the surface that helps in our pleasure. So just understanding how your anatomy works, how your sexual organs work, can help you, as when you start expressing yourself in the bedroom and asking for what you want. Because if you want to have more deeper, more fulfilling, longer lasting orgasms, more healing orgasms, you're going to need to allow yourself that arousal time. And you can still keep your clitoral orgasms. Those are wonderful. And there's also more available to you here as well. And one thing I like using with the jade egg practice is it works with the muscular tissue of the vagina and the walls of the vagina to bring more sensitivity through more blood flow and oxygen, and toning and strengthening. So when these vestibules get nice and engorged, they're working with the tissue of your vaginal wall that is really healthy. So there's a lot more sensitivity there. There's a lot more pleasure there. So if you have any more questions about the clitoris or orgasms, I have some free mini talks on my website that I go into that as well. And I am very excited to be creating my online well-pleasured woman jade egg practice. So that is being created as we speak. So until next Wednesday, I wish you all so much love, and yeah, get to know this beautiful piece of your anatomy. The more you know about her, the more you'll respect her, and the more that she'll give back to you.